Cheltenham entered service in 1934 and was one of the 40 V-class locomotives, better known as the Schools class, which were built at Eastleigh Works and designed by Richard Maunsell. The Schools class were the most powerful 440 type locomotives to operate in this country and were a very successful design used for both passenger and freight duties. They were capable of operating over the Hastings line with its reduced clearances due to their sloping cab and tender sides. They also worked some of the lighter express trains on the Bournemouth and Kent coast, as well as Waterloo to Portsmouth expresses prior to electrification in 1937. Every locomotive in the class was named after one of the famous public schools within the area served by Southern Railway, a publicity masterstroke given the popularity of train spotting with schoolboys at the time. 1957 saw the introduction of new diesel-electric multiple units, better known as Hastings units, to the Hastings route. That and the completion of the electrification of the South Eastern Main Line in 1961 meant there was little need for the Schools class as electric trains had taken over. Withdrawals began in January 1961, with all of the class disappearing from service by December 1962. Cheltenham was withdrawn from Basingstoke Shed, having achieved one of the highest mileages of the class at 1,127,788 miles. Given the importance of the design, it was decided that one of the Schools class locomotives should be saved for the National Collection. 30925 Cheltenham was chosen because it had not long been through the works and was in good condition. Upon withdrawal, 30925 was stored at Fratton Shed, along with Lord Nelson, Sir Lamuel and several other locomotives saved for the nation, while they worked out what they were going to do with them, since at the time the only preserved railways in existence were the Tallaghyn and the Bluebell Railway. The National Collection would later become the genesis of what we now know as the National Railway Museum. In the end, 2 other locomotives from the class were saved from the cutter's torch. Repton was initially sent to a museum in America, later moving to Canada before returning to the UK on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. The other is Stowe, which is currently based at the Bluebell Railway. Cheltenham, having been stored at several locations, was steamed briefly in 1980 for the Rainhill celebrations before moving to the museum in York, where it stayed until 2010. After that, she was moved to her birthplace at Eastleigh Works for overhaul by the railway. During the overhaul, specialist work was required to remove the asbestos which was insulating the boiler. The overhaul was completed on the 25th of May 2012, and Cheltenham was then transferred by low loader from Eastleigh back to the National Railway Museum in York in June 2012 for their event Railfest, which saw locomotives come from far and wide to attend. After the event, Cheltenham returned to the Watercress Line, where she was running prior to being assigned to traffic. She ran successfully over the following years and is well suited to the line with surprisingly good adhesion, given the size of the 6-foot 7-inch diameter driving wheels. She was repainted in 2019 to BR Brunswick Green, which is the livery you can see her in today. If you look closely, you'll notice that the nameplate is actually painted differently on each side. One has a black background and the other one red. This was done purposely, to demonstrate what the locomotive looked like in 2 periods of time simultaneously. The red nameplate and the motion bracket on the driver's side is what the class had when they were originally outshopped in BR Green. As they went into the works to be overhauled, the nameplates and motion brackets were repainted to be black, like you can see on the fireman's side. Currently she is due to be withdrawn from service in 2022 for overhaul, but there's still a fair few runs left in her, at her current home base, the Mid-Hants Railway, the Watercress Line.